Have you ever felt a quiet stirring within, a sense profound and persistent that there is a greater version of yourself waiting to be unleashed? A truer self, a more powerful self, a self that resonates with a purpose so deep it feels designed. In the silent chambers of your heart, amidst the noise and rush of the everyday, there's an echo of a calling, a call to become. This isn't the clamor of ambition for mere worldly gain, but a soulful ache for authenticity, for the realization of a potential that feels sacred, almost sculpted by an unseen benevolent hand. We navigate our lives, often wearing masks, often guided by the expectations of others, sometimes feeling like an actor playing a role, rather than the author of our own magnificent story. But what if that story was already written in the stars, encoded within your very being, waiting for you to claim it with courage and with an unshakable power? That power, my friend, is faith. Not a fragile hope that flickers in the wind, not a blind leap into the unknown, but a profound bedrock certainty. A trust so deep it becomes the very lens through which you see the world, the compass that guides your every step, the unyielding force that allows you to weather any storm. This is the faith that connects you to your origin, to the very mind of your Creator. For you are not a random occurrence, a cosmic accident. You are a deliberate creation endowed with a unique constellation of gifts, talents, and a purpose that only you can fulfill. The journey to becoming who God created you to be is the noblest quest you will ever undertake, and unshakable faith is the key that unlocks every door along that sacred path. This isn't about subscribing to a particular doctrine or dogma handed down through generations, though wisdom can be found in many traditions. This is about a personal, vibrant, living connection to the divine architect of your soul. It's about understanding that the same intelligence that ignites supernovas and orchestrates the delicate dance of ecosystems took an intimate personal interest in you. Before you drew your first breath, you were conceived in the mind of God, a unique idea, a cherished masterpiece in the making. Consider for a moment the sheer improbability of your existence, the precise alignment of factors, the intricate dance of genetics, the spark of consciousness that animates you. To believe this is all random is to miss the signature of the artist. Within you lies a divine blueprint, a unique pattern of potential, a sacred design that outlines the magnificent being you are intended to become. This blueprint isn't a rigid set of instructions, but a loving intention, a map to your highest fulfillment. The world may try to tell you who you are, to fit you into its convenient boxes, to impose its limitations upon you. Society may judge you by superficial metrics, by your possessions, your status, your temporary setbacks. But these are fleeting illusions. Your true identity, your inherent worth, is not contingent on external validation. It is rooted in your divine origin. You are a child of God imbued with a spark of the eternal. This truth, once deeply embraced, becomes the unshakable foundation of your faith. Think of the great figures who shaped history, those who rose above circumstance and left an indelible mark on humanity. Abraham Lincoln, born into poverty and obscurity, facing immense personal loss and national turmoil, carried within him a sense of destiny, a conviction that he was an instrument for a purpose far greater than himself. This wasn't arrogance, it was a humble alignment with a divine assignment. He felt, as he expressed, that he was a humble instrument in the hands of the Almighty. This awareness of a divine blueprint, a God-given role, fueled his resilience, his wisdom, his unyielding commitment to preserving a nation. You too have such a blueprint. It may not involve leading a nation, but it is no less significant in the grand tapestry of existence. Your unique gifts, perhaps a talent for healing a mind, for innovation, a heart for compassion, a voice that inspires hands that create beauty. These are not accidental attributes. They are clues, signposts pointing towards the person God created you to be. To ignore them, to suppress them, to doubt their value, is to leave a vital part of your divine mission unfulfilled. Recognizing this divine blueprint begins with introspection, with quieting the outer noise so you can hear the inner whispers. What activities make your spirit soar? What problems in the world ignite a passionate desire within you to find a solution? Where do your natural talents effortlessly shine? These are not mere preferences. They are echoes of your divine design, invitations from your Creator to step into your true calling. The journey of faith is in large part the journey of uncovering, embracing, and courageously expressing this divine blueprint. It is about aligning your will with the divine, not out of obligation, but out of a joyful recognition that God's plan for you is always a plan for your ultimate good, for your most vibrant and impactful life. This recognition is the fertile ground from which the essence of unshakable faith can truly blossom. What then is this unshakable faith we speak of? It is far more than a mere intellectual acceptance of a possibility. It transcends simple belief. True faith, the kind that moves mountains, the kind that sustains you through the darkest nights and empowers you to reach for the seemingly unattainable, is an active, dynamic force. It is a profound trust, a deep-seated conviction in the reality and goodness of God, and in the truth of who He created you to be, even when circumstances scream to the contrary. Faith is not the absence of questions, but the courage to live them, trusting that answers will unfold. It's not the absence of fear, but the decision to act despite fear, drawing strength from a source beyond your own limited capacities. It is, as the ancient texts proclaim, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. It's a spiritual muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. Consider the Wright brothers, Orville and Wilbur. Their vision of human flight was deemed impossible by many of the leading minds of their day. They faced ridicule, countless setbacks, and perilous experiments. What kept them going? It was more than just stubborn determination. It was an unshakable faith in their vision, a conviction that what they were pursuing was not only achievable, but was meant to be. They held a deep-seated belief that the principles governing flight existed, and that through persistent effort and inspired insight, a form of active faith, they could uncover and apply them. Their faith wasn't passive. It was expressed in every calculation, every meticulously crafted wing, every courageous test flight. They were in essence partnering their human ingenuity with the unseen laws of the universe, laws established by a creator. Unshakable faith is built on the understanding that God is not a distant, indifferent spectator, but an active, loving presence in your life. It is the certainty that He is for you, that He desires your success in becoming the person He designed you to be. This faith allows you to see beyond immediate obstacles, to perceive divine opportunities hidden within challenges, and to trust in a benevolent outcome, even when the path is obscured. This kind of faith isn't conjured out of thin air. It is cultivated. It grows when you consciously choose to focus on God's power rather than your limitations. It deepens when you recall past instances of divine guidance or provision in your life, or witness it in the lives of others. It is nurtured through prayer, not as a ritualistic recitation, but as an intimate conversation with your Creator, sharing your hopes, your fears, your gratitude, and listening for His guidance. It is strengthened by immersing yourself in words of truth and inspiration, words that remind you of your divine heritage and limitless potential. Think of faith as the conduit through which divine power flows into your life. The stronger your faith, the wider that conduit becomes, allowing for a greater influx of wisdom, courage, peace, and resources. It's the unwavering belief that when God gives you a vision, a glimpse of the person He created you to be, He also provides the means to achieve it. Your part is to trust, to align, and to act in accordance with that vision. When your faith is unshakable, you approach life with a serene confidence. Not an arrogant self-assurance, but a humble reliance on a power infinitely greater than your own. You worry less because you know you are not in control, but you are divinely partnered. You dare more because you know that failure is merely a lesson on the path to a divinely orchestrated success. This faith becomes your anchor in the storms, your light in the darkness, and the unwavering compass guiding you toward the magnificent destiny God has prepared for you. But even the strongest faith will be tested, and it is in these moments we must learn to confront the shadows of doubt. The path to becoming who God created you to be is rarely a straight, untroubled line. It is often in the valleys, amidst the shadows of doubt, fear, and uncertainty, that our faith is most profoundly tested and ultimately most powerfully forged. These shadows are not necessarily a sign that your faith is weak or that your divine connection is severed. Rather, they are the inevitable terrain one must traverse, the challenges that, when met with courage, serve to deepen your reliance on God and solidify the unshakability of your faith. Doubt is a natural human response to the unknown, to setbacks, to the disparity between your current reality and the grand vision God has placed in your heart. It whispers insidious questions. Am I truly capable? What if I fail? Am I worthy of such a calling? Is God really there for me? These whispers can be paralyzing if allowed to take root. But they can also be seen as invitations to engage your faith more actively, to seek reassurance not from fleeting external circumstances, but from the enduring truth of God's promises and your divine identity. Fear is doubt's companion. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping out of your comfort zone, fear of the sacrifices that may be required. This fear can erect seemingly insurmountable walls around the person God created you to be, keeping your true potential locked away. But faith offers a different perspective. It doesn't deny the existence of fear, but it chooses not to be governed by it. Faith looks beyond the apparent threat, anchoring itself in the all-encompassing power and love of God. As the scriptures often remind us, perfect love casts out fear. Connecting with that perfect love through faith is the ultimate antidote. Past failures can also cast long shadows, feeding present doubts. You may have tried and stumbled before, leading you to believe that future success is impossible. But in God's economy, failure is not final. It is feedback. It is a lesson. It is an opportunity to refine your approach, to learn humility, to develop perseverance. Thomas Edison, whose relentless pursuit of the electric light bulb involved thousands of experiments, famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His perspective was rooted in a faith that the solution existed and that each failure brought him closer to it. He didn't let the shadows of past attempts obscure the light of his ultimate vision. So, how do we confront these shadows? First, by acknowledging them without succumbing to them. Bring your doubts and fears into the light of your prayer and contemplation. Speak them honestly to your Creator. Often, the simple act of naming them diminishes their power. Second, by reaffirming the truth of who you are, a beloved child of God, uniquely designed and equipped for a divine purpose. Counter the lies of doubt with the affirmations of your faith. Immerse yourself in inspirational words and stories of those who overcame similar shadows, in the unwavering promises of divine support. Third, anchor yourself in gratitude. Even amidst doubt and fear, there are always blessings to be found. Focusing on gratitude shifts your perspective from what's wrong to what's right, from your perceived lack to God's abundant provision. A grateful heart is a fortress against despair. And finally, take small, courageous steps of faith despite the doubt. Action is a powerful antidote to fear. Each step taken, no matter how small, builds momentum and reinforces your trust that God will meet you, guide you, and provide for you. Remember, the darkness of the shadow is merely an indication of a light shining somewhere. Your faith is that light. By consciously choosing to focus on the light of God's presence, His promises, and His power, the shadows of doubt and fear will inevitably recede. It is through these encounters, these courageous confrontations with your own internal adversaries, that your faith is tempered, strengthened, and proven unshakable, preparing you for faith in motion for the actions that manifest your becoming. Unshakable faith is not a passive state of being. It is a dynamic catalyst that ignites faith in motion. It is the divine spark that translates into courageous, consistent action, propelling you towards the person God created you to be. Belief confined to the heart vision, unexpressed in deeds, remains an unrealized dream. It is in the doing, in the stepping out, in the tangible expression of your trust in God, that your divine blueprint begins to take form in the world. This faith in motion is not about reckless abandon or impulsive decisions. It is inspired action, guided by the wisdom and intuition that flows from your connection with the divine. It's listening for that still small voice, that inner knowing, that divine nudge, and then having the courage to act upon it, even when the entire path isn't visible, even when logic screams for caution. Remember, Noah didn't wait for the rain to start before he began building the ark. He acted on faith in a divine instruction, a vision of what was to come. His monumental task was faith in painstaking, laborious motion. Often, the first step is the hardest. It requires overcoming inertia, confronting fear, and daring to believe that your contribution matters. But that first step taken in faith creates a ripple effect. It signals your commitment to your Creator and to your own becoming. And as you move, the way often opens in surprising and synchronistic ways. Doors you never knew existed swing wide. Resources you couldn't have imagined appear. People who can help you on your journey cross your path. This is the magic of faith in motion. God meets you in your action. Consider the story of David and Goliath. David, a young shepherd, faced an intimidating, battle-hardened giant, whom seasoned warriors feared. What gave David the audacity to step forward? It was his unshakable faith in God, a faith honed in solitary fields protecting his flock. A faith that God, who delivered him from the lion and the bear, would deliver him from this giant. His faith wasn't just a belief, it was a conviction that spurred him into action. He didn't just pray for victory, he picked up his sling and stones. That was faith in motion. And through that seemingly small act of courageous, faith-filled action, the impossible became possible. Your Goliaths may be different. Perhaps an ingrained limiting belief, a daunting project, a difficult relationship, a systemic injustice you feel called to address. Whatever they are, unshakable faith calls you to pick up your unique stones, your talents, your ideas, your voice, your efforts, and step onto the field. The outcome is not solely your responsibility. Your part is the faithful action. The results are in God's hands. Faith in motion also requires perseverance. There will be times when your efforts seem to yield little, when progress is slow, when you feel like giving up. It is in these moments that your faith must propel your continued action. Remember the farmer who plants a seed. He doesn't see immediate results. He continues to water, to tend, to protect, trusting in the unseen process of growth. Your consistent, faith-filled actions are like that water and care, nurturing the seeds of your divine potential. Don't wait for perfect conditions or for all your fears to vanish before you act. Perfect conditions rarely arrive, And courage is not the absence of fear, but the triumph over it. Each action taken in faith, however imperfect, builds your spiritual confidence and strengthens your connection to the divine flow. You learn by doing. You grow by daring. You become who God created you to be, not by passively waiting, but by actively co-creating with Him through your choices and your deeds. This dynamic interplay, this journey of action and trust, often leads you through refining fires, forging your character, and deepening your reliance, demonstrating how you are forged in fire resilience and transformation through faith. The journey of becoming who God created you to be is rarely a gentle stroll through sunlit meadows. More often, it involves being forged in fire, passing through trials and tribulations that test the very core of your being. It is in these crucibles of adversity, when met with unshakable faith, that your true character is refined, your resilience is built, and your transformation into your divinely intended self is accelerated. These are not punishments from a distant deity, but rather the shaping processes of a master craftsman, designed to burn away the dross and reveal the pure gold within you. When challenges arise, illness, loss, betrayal, financial hardship, crushing disappointment, it can be tempting to question God's goodness, to doubt your path, to wonder if you've been abandoned. But it is precisely in these moments that your faith has the opportunity to become truly unshakable. It's easy to have faith when all is well, when prayers are answered swiftly and the path is smooth. But the faith that endures hardship, the faith that clings to God's promises, even when surrounded by darkness, that is the faith that transforms. Think of Job, a man who, according to Scripture, lost everything. His wealth, his family, his health. His suffering was immense, his questions profound. Yet, even in the depths of his despair, a core of faith remained. He declared, "Though he slay me, yet will I trust him." This wasn't a statement of blind resignation, but a testament to a faith so deeply rooted that even the most devastating storms could not uproot it. And through his ordeal, Job gained a far deeper, more intimate understanding of God, emerging with his spirit refined and his blessings ultimately restored and multiplied. His story is a powerful metaphor for how faith can guide us through the fiercest fires, leading to profound spiritual growth and restoration. When you face the fires of life with faith, you are not alone. Your Creator, your divine partner, walks with you through the flames. This doesn't mean the heat won't be intense or that you won't feel the pain, but it does mean you have access to an inner strength, a divine comfort, and a guiding wisdom that can see you through. Faith becomes the assurance that these trials are not meaningless. They are purposeful, serving to sculpt you, to teach you, to prepare you for greater things. Resilience born of faith is different from mere human toughness. Human toughness can become brittle, cynical, but faith-filled resilience is supple, hopeful, and ultimately victorious. It's the ability to bend without breaking, to suffer without losing hope, to fall and rise again each time with a deeper understanding of God's faithfulness and your own inner capacity. It's learning to say, "This is hard, but God is good. This is painful, but God is with me. This seems impossible, but with God all things are possible." These fiery trials also serve to clarify your priorities, to strip away the superficial and reveal what truly matters. They teach you compassion, empathy, and a deeper reliance on God rather than your own strength or worldly resources. The character traits that define the person God created you to be, patience, perseverance, humility, unwavering love, indomitable courage, are often forged and polished in the very heart of adversity. So do not despise the challenges. Do not lose heart when the heat is turned up. Instead, lean into your faith. Cling to the promises of your Creator. Seek His presence in the midst of the storm. Allow the fires to burn away your impurities, your pride, your fear, your self-reliance, and to reveal the unshakable Christ-like essence within. For it is through this sacred alchemy, this forging in fire, that you are truly transformed, emerging as a vessel of honor, prepared and ready for the unveiling, becoming and living your divine truth. After the forging, after the trials faced with unshakable faith, after the consistent, courageous actions taken in alignment with your divine blueprint, there comes a profound and beautiful stage, the unveiling. This is the continuous, ever-deepening process of truly becoming and living your divine truth, stepping fully into the magnificent person God created you to be. It's not a final destination where all growth ceases, but rather a state of being where your inner reality and your outer expression are in harmonious alignment with your divine nature and purpose. This unveiling is like the sculptor finally stepping back to reveal the masterpiece that was always hidden within the stone. The excess has been chipped away by life's experiences, the character refined by faith's fires, the true form revealed by a willingness to yield to the Master's hand. You begin to operate from a place of authenticity, your actions, words, and decisions flowing naturally from the core of your divinely inspired identity. The masks fall away. The need for external validation diminishes. You find a deep abiding peace in simply being who you are as God intended. Living your divine truth means your unique gifts and talents are no longer dormant or suppressed, but are actively and joyfully expressed in service to others and in fulfillment of your purpose. Whether your platform is large or small, your impact becomes significant because it is infused with the power and love of your Creator. You become a clearer channel for divine wisdom, creativity, and compassion to flow into the world. Consider the Apostle Paul, who transformed from a persecutor of faith to one of its most ardent champions. His journey was one of dramatic unveiling. After his encounter with the divine, his old identity was shattered, and through years of trial learning and unwavering faith, he became the person God destined him to be, a light to the nations. He wrote, "I no longer live, but Christ lives in me. The life I now live in the body, I live by faith in the Son of God who loved me and gave himself for me." This is the essence of the unveiled life. A life surrendered to and empowered by the divine, a life lived in the fullness of one's God-given identity. As you step more fully into this unveiled self, you experience a profound sense of freedom. Freedom from fear, freedom from comparison, freedom from the tyranny of your own ego. You discover a joy that is not dependent on circumstances but springs from the deep well of your connection with God. Your relationships become more meaningful, your work more fulfilling, your presence more impactful. You radiate a quiet confidence, an inner strength, and a luminous peace that draws others towards the same divine source. This becoming is not about achieving a flawless angelic state. It is about living authentically from your spiritual core, acknowledging your humanity while embracing your divinity. It's about continuous growth, always learning, always seeking to align more perfectly with God's will and His vision for your life. The world desperately needs people who are living their divine truth. People who have allowed themselves to be shaped by God into instruments of His peace, His love, and His power. By embracing your own unveiling, by courageously becoming who God created you to be, you contribute to the healing and transformation of the world around you. Your life becomes a testament to the unshakable power of faith, an inspiration for others to embark on their own sacred journey of becoming. This indeed is the ultimate expression of a life lived in true partnership with the divine. And so the call echoes deep within your soul to harness the unshakable power of faith and to courageously, joyfully, relentlessly become the magnificent individual God created you to be. This is not a journey for the faint of heart, but it is the most rewarding, most meaningful, most transformative adventure you will ever undertake. It is your sacred birthright, your divine destiny. You are not a mistake. You are a masterpiece in progress. Your life is not a random series of events, but a divinely orchestrated opportunity to unfold your unique potential and to reflect the glory of your Creator. The blueprint is within you. The power to achieve it, faith, is available to you. The divine architect himself is your constant guide, your unwavering supporter, your most passionate believer. Embrace the truth of your divine origin. Cultivate that bedrock of unshakable faith that sees beyond the visible trusts, beyond the logical, and acts beyond the comfortable. Confront the shadows of doubt and fear, not with your own limited strength, but with the infinite power of God that dwells within you and surrounds you. Let your faith be a dynamic force, propelling you into inspired action, transforming your intentions into tangible realities. When the fires of trial come, as they surely will meet them with courage, knowing that they are not meant to destroy you, but to refine you, to strengthen you, to forge you into an instrument of even greater purpose and resilience. Allow each challenge to deepen your reliance on God, to strip away all that is not your true self, and to reveal the unshakable core of your divinely endowed spirit. And then step into the glorious unveiling. Live authentically, shine brightly. Let your unique gifts flow freely. Fulfill the purpose that only you can fulfill. The world is waiting for the unique contribution that you and your fully realized God-created self are designed to make. Do not be daunted by the perceived magnitude of this calling. You are not expected to do it alone. The unshakable power of faith is your connection to an omnipotent, all-loving God who will provide the wisdom, the strength, the resources, and the opportunities you need every step of the way. Your part is to trust, to obey, to persevere, to love. Today, make the conscious choice to step fully onto this path. Believe in the incredible person God created you to be. Nurture your faith until it becomes an unshakable fortress around your soul and an unstoppable force in your life. The transformation will be profound. The impact will be eternal. The joy will be immeasurable. The unshakable power of faith is your key to unlocking your divine destiny. Claim it, live it, become